After his friend Isaiah Bradley fails to assassinate the president, Captain America Sam Wilson is on a mission to find out the true culprit behind this attempted assassination. Film fans of YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. I am Josh, your movie apprentice, and today I am looking at Captain America Brave New World. I am getting into this very late, but I put a poll up as I said I would, and you voted for this one, so we're going to go straight into this film that has been getting the usual back and forth criticism that a lot of Marvel films seem to be getting these days. Marvel had a year out with Deadpool and Wolverine, which felt like a more standalone story, but now we're getting back into the swing of things with the MCU. I have not missed this part of Marvel movies coming out, where if you like it, you're amazing. If you don't like it, you are a hard writer or a racist or whatever, and there's a lot of controversy. For me, as per freaking usual, when it comes to these films that have this negative reaction from general audiences and people online, it always seems to be that I fall squarely in the middle, where I think the film is fine, but it is nothing special. Captain America Brave New World is a film that has two major problems. One is that it plays it way too safe, and the other is that the marketing really let this film down. When you go into a movie, you want to experience the story evolve over the course of the runtime. So when the trailer and all the marketing are spoiling what is to come at the tail end of the movie, the big climax, you suddenly lose a lot of tension built up throughout the film. We know that Thaddeus Ross, who's now the president, is going to turn into the Red Hulk by the end of the movie. All these little seeds that the film plants in terms of screenwriting about his anger issues, about his temper, about his need for power and control, his slow descent into pure anger before the eventual rage explosion in the final half an hour. There is no tension built there. There is no mystery or essence with it, purely because we already know going into it, he's going to turn into the Red Hulk. It really devalues everything that comes before it. We know the real end game is this sequence. Like, there is an amazing sequence where we go to Celestial Island, where they finally acknowledge the Eternals Celestial that's sticking out of the water. And it is a example of Marvel saying, look, we have talked about it, we have acknowledged it, now we're never going to talk about it again. That whole sequence is absolutely fantastic. There's a conflict that takes place within that setting that feels very tense, very drama filled, and you genuinely don't know where Captain America is going to get out of this. But because we haven't seen the Red Hulk by this point, we know that it's gonna get resolved. So this very tense sequence that nearly leads to an all-out war between America and Japan is completely devoid of tension, because we know where the film is going to go. And that is a shame, because Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford both bring several layers to this. Harrison Ford, despite all the stories of how it was like on set when he was being Thaddeus Ross and the cameras were rolling, he adds such a layer of emotion to this, and you really got the weight of his past sins, his disagreements with the Avengers and Captain America in the past, and all that stuff. And seeing him go back to these old ways and trying to hold back who he was before. Like, the film is a great theme of trying not to see just the bad in everybody and trying to see the balance between the two, the yin and the yang. And that is a theme that is unfortunately going to be lost. For me, it felt like a diet version of Captain America, the Winter Soldier. It was never going to get to levels of the Winter Soldier, but I did like it. Try to tell a more grounded story, less world ending, and more just espionage and mystery solving. I love that element of it, and this film tries to do that in a very safe way. Marvel expectations is way too high at this point, and it's been such a muddled sequence. Like, it's a shame really, because we had Endgame, then we had Far From Home, we had Shang-Chi as a new introduction. That was an absolutely fantastic film, and we had some great standalones like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but there's been a lot of films trying to build up this new world that haven't quite stuck the landing with this one. This was a movie that's come out and Marvel's trying to find its feet, and because of previous external circumstances, they are trying to tell a safe story. And unfortunately, no matter who led this film, the story, because it was safe, was never going to wow everybody. I think the performances in this are all really good. Like the relationship between Sam Wilson and Isaiah Bradley is really good. Some of the action set pieces are incredible to watch. I wish I saw the Celestial Island sequence in IMAX because I felt like that's where that sequence was made for. But when we got to some effects, unfortunately, there is the same old trope of because of the sheer amount of effects needed for a Marvel film, some of it feels very undercooked and very underdeveloped. And there are some characters that feel rather underdeveloped. There is a character in this who serves alongside the president, but they have a question of morality and outlook on the situation presented to them. And they eventually join up with Sam and the new Falcon. That character feels like a fun setup for the future, but they're kind of just a background character that doesn't really add too much to the whole film. Take them out of the movie, not a whole lot changes about the movie. And our main villain in this, played by Tim Blake Nelson, I liked that character. I liked their motivation. I thought they were an interesting character. I felt they were going down the Zemo route again. The effects on this character were very, very weak. Captain America Brave New World is a film that's giving us good performances. It is Marvel playing it safe, trying to tell a story that has some messages in there, has some political meanings, and gives us some action set pieces. But because the marketing relied so heavily on showing us what happened in the last half an hour, it made it very hard to really care about what was happening in the previous 2 hours preceding that sequence. Before I get into my grade, if you like seeing on the channel, click the like button and subscribe for more video reviews that's coming all the time. But without further ado, let's grade this. Captain America Brave New World. Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford add another layer of emotion to this that you would not see in most other Marvel movies. I thought the story could have played out very well had it not been heavily spoiled by the marketing. And when we got to the final climactic battle, it felt very underwhelming compared to another sequence that would have been the climax in any other Marvel movie. It's a film that plays it safe. It is neither a bad film nor is it a great film. It's just another mid-tier Marvel film that is just going to exist, and maybe it'll be looked more fondly on as we get further into the series. You can tell they're trying to start fresh, find stable ground, and move on in a positive direction. I am excited for Thunderbolts. I know people are claiming that it's just C-listers, but Marvel was built off C-list characters and elevating them to a higher level. So I'm very excited to see where they take this little group. But in terms of Captain America Brave New World, I'm going to have a say that Captain America Brave New World is an okay cup of tea. So Captain America Brave New World, have you seen it? If you have, let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you click that like button and subscribe for more video reviews that's coming all the time. Coming up on the channel, going to be reviewing I'm Still Here, as well as Memoir of a Snail, which is a very late review, but I really need to talk about that movie. And of course, rankings, tier lists, and video essays coming all the time. But until next time, everybody, I am Josh, I be Movie Apprentice, and I'll see you all in the next video.